Good morning, YouTube, and Mr. P, who's going to be grading this video. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, something that I'm actually really excited to show you guys. So for my gym class, one of the projects that we have to do is interview 3 people, one person that you're really close with or you're friends with, one person that you don't know very well, and then somebody that's in your family. The requirement is to upload it to him in some way, so I'm going to be doing this on YouTube, as obviously I have a channel. But I also kind of wanted to have a little fun with this. So I had an idea where instead of just doing what the project is asking, we're going to do that, but we're going to go a little bit more too. I've also invited a ton of different YouTubers that I'm friends with to get interviewed, to ask them some questions of behind the scenes. You know, today we're going to be getting to know YouTubers, not just in front of the camera, but as the person themselves. You know, what you don't see behind the camera. And again, as I said, this is for a school project. So Mr. P, I know you're watching this. Hello. Anyway, let's get right into this. My first interview I did was with Gavin. This was a while ago. I've been struggling. I mean, you guys, if you've seen the Jurassic World, the game videos, you know that I've been talking about doing this for a while. And it's taken a little bit to get these interviews done, especially because I'm like going above and beyond to get this project finished. But I think it's going to look good in the end. Gavin and I did this 2 Fridays ago. I think it's been, it might have been 2 weeks ago. That's not good. But we also recorded this, and this is the only one that I did that was bad. Everything else was on a Discord call, so it was good quality. This one was in a school hallway because Gavin wanted to get it done immediately. So this is the only bad one. Everything else is fine. Anyway, let's get on with the interviews. Thank you, everybody, by the way, who agreed to get interviewed by me. So who do I have with me today?
Gavin.
All right, so Gavin, first question I have for you. What was your biggest mistake thus far in life?
I feel like my biggest mistake was really not adjusting well in freshman year. I know it was out of my reach, but freshman year really hurt my overall GPA and stuff, and I feel like I could have done a lot better in my classes.
All right, next question. What is the greatest realization you've had?
The greatest realization I've had is the most important thing for us to do right now is just focus on school. There's a lot of distractions, there's stuff outside of school, stuff going on at home and stuff, but I feel like this is a time for exploration and really just honing in on grades because college is coming up and you're going to college, and just with every day try to learn something new because our whole world's about to change. So
if you could change anything in your life, what would it be?
Probably for my parents to not get a divorce. I mean, it was a really hard time, and I would have liked to the support at home, but things happen and you can't really alter that. So, but if I could change it, I would definitely change that.
How have you changed throughout your life?
I guess in middle school, I was Mr. Popular because I went to a really small college, elementary school, middle school, so I was always known. Then I got here, and I was not that guy. So I had to learn how to adapt to a new setting, and so I did change my ways, but I guess now I'm climbing back towards the top. I know people, but again, I'm not trying to be Mr. Popular anymore, so I've accepted my mid-ranking.
My last question for you, Gavin. What has been your greatest experience?
My greatest experience, that's a good one. Probably coming. I was just in entirely. I know it's a very broad answer, but before coming here, meeting everyone, especially you and all the experiences I've had, just looking back on the school, I did not like it at first, but now that I'm here and I see all the people who care about me, and especially since today's my birthday, all the happy birthday messages I've gotten, people saying hi to me in the hallways, made me realize that I guess I do have a home here, and it is a nice place, and especially you, so thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I think that's all the questions I have for you for now. Thank you so much, Gavin, for joining me. Let's move on to the next person. Hello, everybody. So now I'm going to be interviewing my dad to ask him a few questions about his life. So first off, knowing what you know now at your age, what would you tell me that can help me when I become your age?
So when I was your age, I had a lot of ambition. I wanted to have a big career, do big things, make a name for myself. And the further I've gotten into my life, the more I realized that it's better to focus on other people, to serve other people, to help other people, and to make that your goal. Because when you focus your life on helping other people, you get a different kind of joy and satisfaction that can't be topped. And
Absolutely.
So I recommend focusing yourself, focusing your life, and dedicating it to service of other people.
Okay, excellent. What was your biggest mistake thus far in life? I know it's a tough one.
Yeah. Well, when I think about some of the mistakes that haunt me throughout my life, I've gotten to a point now where the person I am today and some of the quote-unquote good traits that I have came from making those mistakes and sitting in that shame and regret, and then learning to do better and move forward. I don't think I would be who I am today without those mistakes. So I think in the end they were good experiences.
Okay, yeah, I like that answer. What is your greatest realization you've ever had?
One of the things that has just sort of occurred to me over time is that living a quiet, humble life is just one of the best ways to live your life, because when you go through life with humility, you end up being able to connect with people differently and better. People respond to you differently and more favorably, and you're able to get through all of the things that you need to do with a right sense of who you are in the world. It's not overinflated, it's not deflated, it's just you know who you are and what you bring to the world. And when you just do that with humility, it really impacts your ability to make things happen.
If you could change anything in your life right now, what would it be?
Oh man, it's probably a few things. I would love to have more time. The days go too fast.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and it just feels like the older I get, the faster it goes. I always wished I just had more wisdom, and not necessarily book knowledge, but just the ability to understand things and to think faster and just have more wise things to come out of my mouth. The funny thing is, while I've always, wanted to change that thing, when I look around, I have all those things. They just come from other people. And so I've learned to surround myself with people who are smarter than I am, wiser than I am.
That's good.
Yeah, and I have to gain my wisdom from the help of others.
So now, I guess this will be a good follow-up question, but how have you changed in your life? How do you feel that you've changed?
Yeah, I feel like, again, I think I said this before, but when I was a young man, had a lot of ambition, wanted to do big things, and the further into my life that I got, the more I realized, just focusing on the people who are around me, doing my job well, and being of service to others, being of value to my community. Those are things that, like I said, they really bring a deep level of joy that you can't get in any other way. There's nothing that compares.
That's good. And my last question for you, what has been your greatest experience?
Man, I'd have to say being a dad. When I was, my brothers are older than I am, so I was an uncle first, and so I learned to have that role of being sort of a mentor or somebody that other people look up to. And once I became a dad and really had that role, it's just been an amazing experience. And my brother and I, we're very similar, and so I was just talking to him over the weekend, and his daughter just got married, and the young man who married his daughter absolutely adores him and loves him, and he said, "You are the kind of dad that they make TV shows about." And I was like, "Oh, that's so great! Like that's like the best compliment I think I've ever heard." And my brother and I are very similar in our philosophy and our values and how we approach life and how we approach other people. And so, being a dad, it's just such an amazing opportunity to impact someone else's life and to impart the things that you love and the things that you value, and put whatever, all the good things in life, point them out and instill them into someone else and let them take that forward. So that's been just an amazing experience.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Now, for the next interview, we've got a very special guest. We have Ahmad Coffee from the Mod Coffee Podcast. You're used to interviews like these. This is mainly what you do. So today we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to be interviewing you, but you know how these usually go, so let's just jump right into it. My first question for you. What was your biggest mistake thus far in life?
I don't have a singular biggest mistake. I'd say one of my mistakes was just, or really now as well, is just not taking enough risks. Especially because for me, I feel like I have a lot to lose if I take certain risks, you know what I mean? So, but I'd say that's one of the major things, because if I had taken more risks earlier, obviously I was younger and way less educated than I am right now. But if I was to take more risks, if I had taken more risks when I was younger, like I'm talking anywhere from 10 to like 13, 14 years old, I think I would have put myself in a much better position than I am right now. Especially with like making money and athletics. Those are the two things off the top of my head that I feel like I missed out a lot when it comes to taking risks. If I had taken more risks, I would have been in a much better position.
What is the greatest realization that you've had?
For my greatest realization, I don't really have a greatest realization. I think everything just kind of came gradually. Now I'm lying. I think my greatest realization is how people think and how the world works, because for myself, like I've had to experience it, and how people act and how people talk and stuff like that. Like for me, because I grew up thinking, not thinking, but I kind of grew up trying to see the best in everybody. However, as I got older, and then when I moved and in my area, like that's not something you can really do, because if you are nice to the wrong people or you don't present yourself a certain way, like those people will try to like get at you, or they'll try to use you, or they might try to find a way to get you to slip up, whatever the case may be, or they might like try to physically hurt you if you're not careful. So that's my thing. That's a big realization for myself. Like you have to be able to present yourself a certain way, and that not everybody has good intentions. Especially as I've gotten older, I've begun to realize that just naturally, but also because I kind of had to and I was kind of forced to, just because of my environment, and where I'm at and people I have to deal with on the daily and stuff like that. So I think that's probably one of my bigger realizations that I've had thus far in my life.
Oh, well, yeah, I never knew you moved to... That's awesome. All right, next question. If you could change anything at all in your life right now, what would it be?
Or if I could change anything in my life right now, it would definitely to be employed and not be unemployed. Like I need a job. I mean, as of now, I'm supposed to get a job soon. I'm just waiting to hear back, but I should be getting a job soon, either later this month or next month. But as of right now, that's probably the one thing I changed, bro. Like getting a job, because I kind of need money. I don't know why I cut off my message, but yeah, because I kind of need money. So, also, I kind of just want to get the experience now, because I've put in like, it's a crazy number. I'm putting like 80 or 90 applications or something, anywhere from 70 to 90 applications, something in that range. And they either got rejected, I didn't hear back, I went to have the interview and they didn't get back, and they said no, stuff like that. So hopefully a job, bro.
Wow, yeah, that's insane. Good luck to you, man. On that topic, how do you feel you've changed throughout your life?
For myself, I'm just a lot less wild. Like in terms of how I've changed throughout my life, I'm just a lot less wild. I feel like I'm a lot more calm. I don't say as much as I used to. I don't just talk to anybody. Like I don't just go up to random people and just start talking. You know what I mean? Like for the most part, I don't do that. Like I might say to somebody like, "Yo, like nice hoodie" or whatever, like the fit's fire or something like that. But I don't really go up and talk to random people just like that, because it's not, for me. I see it as unnecessary. Unless it's a reason to go to that person, obviously, but just to go talk just to talk, I try not to do that as much. Especially because when you talk just to talk, I realize it's like it doesn't really go well for you. So that's probably one of the things that has maybe that I've changed throughout my life. Just getting more mature in general. So I feel like everybody goes through that in different phases and in different ways.
No, yeah, I definitely feel you on that. I've got social anxiety, so I don't usually like talk to people. I think it's dumb just to go and talk to people when they don't come talk to you, you know what I mean? So I kind of feel you on that. My last question for you today, Ahmad. What has been your greatest experience?
I don't have a single greatest experience, but I will say one of the experiences is, well, two of them. One of them will be getting closer with God, just becoming more religious, trying to learn about my religion and stuff like that, and actually using it and acting upon it and stuff like that, and then teaching other people who are of the same religion or who are of different religions than me, especially those who are in different religions, because they tend to ask me questions, and sometimes it even makes myself think of like the answer, because sometimes it's a question I can't answer, and it makes me want to go and research that answer or try to find the answer to that question so I can get back to them. But I'd say that, and then also just like actually putting in the work and seeing it work out and seeing the fruits of my labor. Like for basketball, it's getting a lot better. Obviously stuff to improve, because sports you can never really like that's something you have to have like constant improvement in. But I'd say sports, and then also just like my photography, I did that. So I started my own page, and I started my own page around July with photography and stuff like that. And it ended up it's low-key becoming like a job. It's not making enough money yet, because I'm still somewhat new to it. So, but I'm actually getting a job from the school for photography. So that also helped me. That also propelled me in general. So, but having that photography job now, doing the photography myself with like the Instagram pages and stuff like that, I'm beginning to make some money. Like today, I think I made like $40 or $50 alone from videos and pictures and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. But just making money off like my photography, and like seeing the work I put in actually work out and seeing it come into fruition.
All right, well, Ahmad, thank you. I wish you luck. And yeah, again, thank you for letting me interview you today. I'll see you later, man. Take care. So I am now here interviewing Mr. Lemonard, famous YouTuber.
What's going on, everybody?
So I just have a few questions for you, if you wouldn't mind answering. They're a little bit thought-provoking, so we'll see if you need any time to like think about it. I'm editing a video, so I can always cut out whatever you need. But let's just get right into it. My first question for you: what is the biggest mistake you've made this far in life?
Biggest mistake I've made, I would say doubting myself so much. The reason I say that is because early in my life, I placed so many doubts in myself that it affected me to a point where digging myself out of that ditch was such a challenge to overcome that I really wish I didn't put myself in that position in the first place.
That's good. What is the greatest realization that you've had?
The greatest realization that I had was that the only person who's really gonna help me out at the end of the day in my life is me. And even though I may have help from outsiders, at the end of the day, the one who only I can solely rely on is myself.
If you could change anything in your life right now, what would it be?
Honestly, I'd probably change my financial circumstance. My family isn't too well off, so I wouldn't want to be like a millionaire or nothing, but having a little extra cash wouldn't be so bad.
Oh, that's sweet, man. So now, how do you feel that you've changed throughout your life?
So I feel like, and this is something that I apply to everybody, I feel like everybody has room to grow and improve always, but I feel like just how I've kind of evolved throughout my life, I've grown a lot just from, kind of like a mental standpoint at least. I used to be very, very closed off, very reserved, anxious, stressed, all that fun stuff. And even though I still am a few of those things now, I've kind of learned that I needed to really strengthen my mental in order to kind of survive in life. Because if I stayed with the mindset that I used to carry a few years back, I probably wouldn't still be here.
All right, my last question for you, Lemon. What has been your greatest experience of all time?
Greatest experience of all time, just in general?
Yeah, just in general.
It would probably have to be the night that I got together with my girlfriend. So that was the night that I really felt, I don't know, it was just genuine happiness that I felt that I hadn't really experienced since I was like a small little kid. And it was just like, it was the greatest feeling in the world. It was the best night of my life.
Wow, what an answer. That really is awesome, dude.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, that's all the questions I have for you. Lemon, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for letting me interview you. And yeah, that's it. See you later, man.
Thank you, bro. No problem. I'll see you.
And now we come to interview the Jurassic Insider. Welcome in, man.
Hello.
So anyway, the plan today is I'm going to interview you, and we're going to talk about some questions. They're kind of like tricky to answer. You'll see what I mean when we get through them. We're just going to be asking you questions about life, and yeah, let's see how it goes.
Sure. Oh wait, this is about life, not just you two?
Yeah, no, we want to learn all about you.
Okay.
My first question for you. What is the biggest mistake that you've made thus far in life?
Biggest mistake in life. I'd say probably like wasting time in general, I guess. I can't really think of a specific answer, but that's probably what I'd say. It's like wasting time doing stuff that doesn't really matter.
What is the greatest realization that you've had?
Greatest realization that I've had. It's probably that like the stuff that you do with people is gonna be way more memorable than the stuff that you do by yourself, even if you think that's more fun in the moment.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. If you could change anything in your life, what would it be?
I'd probably add like an extra 12 hours to each day.
What makes you say that?
Because I think most things I do, I would wish I'd had more time to do them. Like, I wish I had more time. Like, yeah, I guess you could say then, like, certain things would get boring. But I disagree. I think that by making your day longer, I think that would only help you because you get to experience more in the day, and then, you know, life goes by a little bit slower. You get to enjoy things as they go. And it's not just about like getting to the next thing. You can actually live in the moment for once.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. That's good. On the topic of that, how do you feel that you've changed throughout your life?
That's like a really broad question. I'd say I'm probably a little bit more extroverted than I was when I was a little bit younger. I wouldn't really say I'm an extrovert, but I definitely do. And if you do like talking to people more than when I did as a kid. And I don't know. That's one I would definitely have to think about for longer to give you like a better answer. But for now, I'd probably say that's what it is. Just more social, I guess.
My last question for you. What has been your greatest experience?
My greatest experience? Yeah, very broad, but I guess I'd say probably like moving here to where I live now. Like moving was a pretty big thing that I did, and like it's not like a single experience. I guess it's like a collection of experiences, but still like something that changed my life in a pretty significant way. So I don't know. I would say that this is more of one of those things where it's like I hope that I have like something even better than that in the future. But for now, that's what I'll say.
All right, yeah, that was really good. I know some of those questions were like random and you weren't expecting them, but you did a good job, so thank you. And again, thank you for letting me interview you today. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you, man.
Hello, everybody. I am joined here with one of my really good friends, Low Budget Lizard.
Hello.
And today I'm be interviewing you on a few life questions, so let's see how you answer it.
My first question.
What is your biggest mistake you've made thus far in life?
That is a very good question. I'm not sure if I have a single biggest mistake, because at this point in my life, I don't think I can truly know the full effects of all the mistakes I've made, but I can list of like a top 3 probably. I would say not joining cross country earlier. I started as a senior. I've been running pretty well, but I keep thinking about how much better I could be running if I could get scholarship opportunities, stuff like that, if I started running when I was like a freshman or something like that. I would say Another one would be not trying hard enough in school my sophomore year in particular, just because I didn't like my teachers. I definitely could have more financial scholarship opportunities for better schools if I had just locked in more my sophomore year and just pretended I liked my teachers, I guess. And then I think, you know what, no, I do have a largest mistake. I gotta say it's doom scrolling. I would say I didn't start like actually scrolling until midway through my freshman year, because I didn't have a phone until my 14th birthday. And that's when I started making YouTube videos. But I think I just can't help but think about how much time I've lost just consuming information that I forget 30 seconds later, and instead of doing things like micro-learning, reading a book, spending more time creating my own content. You know, I think ultimately, even though social media was designed to make people for people to showcase their lives and for people to communicate with each other, make new friends in ways that they couldn't have before. I think what ultimately has happened is that we've actually lost a lot of human connection and a lot of time that could have been spent on better things. And I think I've definitely fallen victim to that. So yeah, I think that would probably be my biggest mistake, but the other two are up there as well.
Absolutely, dude. I have to agree with you on the doom scrolling one. I do hate like how much time it takes. It feels like such a waste of time, and I would like to get off it too. But anyway, my next question for you: what was your greatest realization?
My greatest realization. Now again, this is probably kind of controversial because of people's thoughts on religion. And it wasn't from when I went from Christianity to just straight up nihilism, which was a very dark time in my life. And this happened in 8th grade when I was 13. I think while I still I haven't come back to Christianity by any means. I now identify as a deist probably, but what I used to think was life was just a series of random events devoid of any meaning. But I had kind of had two realizations. One, if this is my only life, if this is the only time I'll be conscious, the only time I'll be able to experience things, then there should be no reason why I shouldn't just try to live it to the fullest and just make memories with people that will carry on my story long after I'm gone. And then the other thing about, you know, a lot of atheists like to point out just the Big Bang is how everything started. But matter can't be created nor destroyed. So how did that little marble exist in the first place? Could say from a past universe, but then how did that universe come to fruition without matter being able to be created? And while I don't say that doesn't definitively mean that there is intelligent life, I just think that there's just something to this universe that humans can't know for sure what it is. Some people would like to know what it is, but I don't think anybody knows what it is. But the ultimate lesson that I've learned from it is that having hope makes life worth living. And that's my answer.
Wow, that was insane. Listen, I've said this before, but from the time that I've known you, you are one heck of a philosopher, man.
Thank you.
All right, this is interesting. Let's see what you have to say about this. If you could change anything in your life right now, what would it be?
What are the rules? Is it any like one action I did or just one time in my life?
Thing you've done, what would you want to change?
Any one thing. Okay. One thing, can it be something that I haven't done but could have done, or something, or it does have to be something I did do that I could just have not done?
I think probably something that you've done that you want to change.
Okay. That I have done. To be honest, there's quite a few things. No, obviously I wasn't a problem child or anything. What makes this question so hard is I think the regrets I've usually had in my life is not doing things that I wish I did do, but things that I did do that I wish I hadn't done. I wished I had been more social my freshman year. I wasn't avoiding human communication or anything, but I think I could. Oh, no, sorry. Getting my driver's license earlier is most definitely a thing that
Okay.
because I feel like I've missed a lot on the high school experience by getting my driver's license so late. I think I could have gone to more places. I would not be at home very much at all, probably, if I was able to. Would have gone to more functions. I wouldn't have had to rely on other people for rides. And I just think overall my high school experience could have been so much better if I got my license as soon as I could. Now, there were a lot of circumstances on why. Part of it was because I was so busy for a long time. Part of it was because my parents were initially skeptical, and all that jazz. But I definitely think that if I got my driver's license earlier, my high school experience and later my life experiences that I could share with other people would have been much greater if I had gotten my driver's license earlier.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, my last question for you, Lizard. What has been your greatest experience?
Greatest experience. Just anything that happens, including like accomplishments or just things I've.
Right at this very moment, what is the greatest thing that's happened to you?
The greatest thing that has happened to me. I think the greatest thing that has happened to me is by chance being born in a first world country to a middle class family. I mean, I could say running my fastest 5K or winning marching band state championships. Those are up there, but again, only about 15 to 20% of the population lives in a first world country with the amount of opportunities that we have. And better yet, not being born into poverty. I'm not rich by any means, but I'm not born into poverty. And I think that that's such a fortunate thing, such a lucky thing that happened
A lot
to
of
me
people take for granted.
to be born in a first world country in a middle class family. That just opens up so many opportunities right off the bat, and it only opens the door for other great things to happen and other great accomplishments.
Absolutely.
Not saying that people from less fortunate backgrounds haven't accomplished stuff. I'm just saying it's been a blessing. It's been way easier, probably. It will be easier as well later in life, for sure. But yeah.
Well, that's all the questions. You did an amazing job.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lizard, for joining me today.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll see you later, man.
Alrighty, see ya.
All right, hello, welcome everybody. I am now here with one of my good friends, Punty YT, to talk about life. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good today. So we'll see how you feel. These questions are a little like, it's just like a lot. It'll get you thinking. So we'll see what you have to say. My first question for you is, what is the biggest mistake you've made thus far in life?
That's a very tough question. Okay, question one. I feel like I've made a lot of mistakes, but I also believe you shouldn't like dwell on those mistakes. I think a big mistake I made was I don't like self-advertise like extremely, but if you know my channel, you'll know I made the furnaces video for farming 37 shulker box of furnaces. And a mistake I still regret to this day that I've been working to fix. And it's just something I've been working on recently. I kind of like took all of the video did pretty well, and I took my reaction to the video doing well was I was like, oh, I was very happy about it, and I just did nothing else for it. I didn't connect. I feel like I should have probably taken it to a point where I understood the video did well, and I should have reacted as in I can continue. I should now do this more, instead of how I did react, which was like, oh, okay, this is good, cool. That's it. And then I kind of like low-key stooped down, and I feel like I haven't uploaded in like 5 months on my main channel, but I'm working on that now. So that's a big mistake I made, and I think I'm working to do it.
What is the greatest realization that you've had?
Wow, these are some deep questions. Greatest realization I've ever had. I think I'd probably have to put that on in relation to a book series and show that I really adore. I think it's changed my life a good bit. If you've ever heard of Vinland Saga.
Yeah, I know about Vinland Saga.
I watched the show. I think it was February of this year, February 2025. And I thought it was a good show. I watched season 1. And then I saw the majority of the first episode of season 2, and I was like, oh, I'm not really liking this. I recommend anyone watch Vinland Saga. But if you've watched it, you'll know that if you watch season 1, you gotta watch season 2. And in watching season 2, I think it's influenced. I won't spoil, but it's influenced my life, and I feel like that has been like a very big factor. I guess I don't know.
People didn't know you know that you love Vinland Saga, so
it's in my Discord profile. I love it. I'm a big fan.
My third question for you:
Mhm.
if you could change anything in your life, what would it be?
Anything I could change. I think I should probably be happy with my life, but I guess, I guess I'd change my reaction to the Blasphemous video. But I think actually now, it's character development. I don't know if I would change anything. I really don't. I think my life has gone pretty well.
I'm happy to hear that, man. That's a good point. All right, my last question for you. What has been your greatest experience?
Wow, greatest experience.
Of all time.
I think I've got a lot of great experiences. I'm gonna go with. I feel like I'm like super self-advertising right now.
Bro, just
'Cause
do
I've
it.
only
I don't
talked
care.
about my own
Plug in everything. Just low-key put the Discord description in anyway. I'll put it like on the video. The whole background was being
in
frenzy about the
realizing
Discord.
one of my ultimate goals with YouTube is meeting my prized YouTuber that I adore, and I've modeled my life and personality around him. RecRap 2. I think in realizing that in making the Blasphemous video and realizing like that I can do YouTube. If I really put my all into it and I put my effort into it, I can do YouTube like as like my career, as what I want, like for the rest of my life, as I want to do. I think in realizing that like I don't want to say it's like I don't know what the word would be, but it was a really good feeling, and I still have that to this day. That's why I'm kind of low-key hypocritical about like I gotta work on this. Can't give it up. But yeah, I think that's my greatest, personally.
I mean, he already commented on your furnace video, so it's definitely possible.
Okay, if I'm gonna be self-advertising, I should low-key.
It's just self-advertising.
Right before you called me, I was trying to find the Discord of this one dude. He's 4.15. What am I doing? 4.51 thousand subscribers. Pretty small. Posted a video like 10 hours ago after disappearing for a year. And I think I was just watching it. It low-key is like one of the most relatable videos on YouTube I've seen like in a while. I mastered Minecraft speedrunning in 21 days. But it's more than just that, because it talks about like struggling with balancing school and work, as well as trying to do this. and his ultimate goal is to try and get top 100 of the world in speedrunning in 21 days, because that is a challenge that RecRap 2 gave to him, and his ultimate goal is to meet RecRap 2. And there's I won't lie, there's a cliffhanger at the end of the video. I again won't spoil if anyone wants to watch it, but that was really good. I don't know, like I'm trying to reach that.
Yes, bro, we need the Punzi and RecRap collab. It'll happen.
It's gonna happen. 2026.
Okay, well, yeah, thank you so much for letting me interview you today, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all I got. I'll see you later.
All right. See ya. Have a good day.
You too, man. Chase passion.